Hey guys, it's Emily Emmons, and I've been doing some research, and today I'm going to be spreading awareness about multiple sclerosis. So, I'm going to start by talking about what MS is. It's a chronic disease that attacks the central nervous system, and what it does is it eats away at the protective layer of the neuron called the myelin sheath. And when this happens, there's inevitably nerve damage, and as a result, it disrupts communication with the brain, and you end up with symptoms like having trouble walking, talking, speaking, being dizzy, and being unsteady. Each person that has MS has different symptoms than another person that would have MS. It varies from case to case. Some people are wheelchair bound, while some people have almost no symptoms at all. So I chose this topic because of my sister Erica. She was diagnosed with MS in 2015 at a very young age. She was 23 years old. Since it was caught so early on in her life, she's able to manage her symptoms. She was given steroid injections when she was first diagnosed and had her first flare up. She has decided to start her family with her husband with the intentions of getting treated for MS after she has all of her children. I found this newspaper article titled New Drugs Raise Hope for Patients with MS, published in the New York Times, and it focuses on the story of a woman who had been diagnosed with MS and she had many flare ups in public. So, what her doctor did was prescribe her two new drugs that were supposed to stop her symptoms and stop the flare ups from happening in public. And after switching to the two new drugs, her symptoms completely stopped and it worked great. But what doesn't make sense is that it switches to two new drugs, so it makes the title of the article misleading, not knowing which drug was the one that stopped all the symptoms from happening. After the story, it gives background on what MS is and what it does to the body. So, with this, it definitely enhances the public perception of multiple sclerosis. There's a YouTube video titled Learning to Walk Again. It's a multiple sclerosis documentary, and it focuses on a man named Tim Barton who shares his story about his life following his diagnosis. After he was diagnosed with MS, it was his main intention to make sure his life and his family's life was as normal as it could be. He made a Facebook page to gather people living with MS and people who were just diagnosed with MS to really focus on the positive side of things and to make everybody feel as normal as possible. With this, it definitely enhances the public knowledge of MS by sharing such a personal story. On the National Multiple Sclerosis Society's website, there's a list of downloadable brochures on multiple sclerosis, and one brochure in particular titled Research Directions in MS Strategies in Progress starts out with giving background information on what MS is, enhancing the public knowledge of the disease. But what it really focuses on is the progression of the research that's been conducted. Apparently, prior to 1946, there was little to no research done on MS. But during this year, that was when the National Multiple Sclerosis Society was founded and began to conduct research on this disease. And as time went on, it began to advance and gain government sponsors, receive funds from other organizations. And the goal of this foundation is to ultimately end MS by understanding the exact cause and find the solutions. And with such impressive milestones done by the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, they encourage new research and funding for the disease. There is a scholarly research article titled Recommended Diagnostic Criteria for Multiple Sclerosis Guidelines from the International Panel on the Diagnosis of Multiple Sclerosis. And this article contains a lot of valid information on the diagnostic evolution of MS, and it starts out by explaining the diagnostic history and claims that the last official review for the criteria for the disease was in 1982, so that explains that a lot has changed and progressed since then. And this article greatly enhances the public perception of multiple sclerosis because of its valid information it contains. And it's important for people with MS as well as the general public to be aware of the diagnostic criteria of MS to be able to look out for warning signs. There are many online gaming programs that claim to enhance brain activity. One website in particular called cognifit.com, it does this and even has specific target areas such as memory, perception, coordination, and it even claims to improve cognitive issues that are popular among patients with MS. Although this website does not specifically target people with MS, it does claim to help some of the symptoms that these people experience. It's not a free program, which makes it less beneficial to the population of people that do have MS, But with exposure to these types of games, it's more likely that more research will be done and more funding will be done to create more possibly free programs like CogniFit. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope the information researched here helps strengthen the public knowledge of MS as well as spreading awareness of the disease.